Here's the 0-2 pitch. Kirk bounces one up the middle, bats to the bag, over to first to beat the champ. You gotta knock him out. The Dodgers stand tall and win back-to-back titles.
Every time the Dodgers win, the same sentence shows up everywhere. Of course they did. They just buy championships. And honestly, I get why people say it. They spend. They stack stars. They fix problems faster than anyone else. But if you actually watch the 2025 Dodgers, not just the standings, not just the parade, because if even one thing breaks differently, this team gets remembered very differently. This is the story of how the Dodgers won back-to-back World Series titles, despite having one of the worst bullpens in baseball. What's good, everyone? Welcome back to FoulBall, where we don't just talk about who won, we talk about how close it came to not happening. Because the Dodgers didn't cruise through 2025. They survived it, and nowhere was that more obvious than the one unit everyone wants to pretend didn't exist: the bullpen. A 4.27 ERA, tied for 20th in all of baseball. 27 blown saves, tied for 7th most in the league. And those weren't just bad relievers either. These were high-priced all-star arms who were supposed to shut the door. Instead, they kept opening it. Let's rewind to last offseason. The Dodgers looked at the reliever market and said, all right, let's grab two of the best available arms and lock down the late innings. Kirby Yates, coming off a dominant 2024 with Texas, 1.17 ERA, 33 saves, all-star appearance. The Dodgers gave him a one-year, $13 million deal. Tanner Scott, one of the most dominant left-handed closers in baseball, 1.75 ERA in 2024, 22 saves, made Shohei Ohtani look silly in the NLDS. The Dodgers gave him 4 years, $72 million. On paper, that should have worked. In reality, it was chaos from day one. Kirby Yates, the injury-plagued disappointment. Yates never found his rhythm. He started strong in April, 24 strikeouts through the end of the month. Electric stuff, vintage form. Then the wheels fell off. One bad outing in mid-May against the Angels, ERA jumped to 4.34. First IL stint. Came back, looked decent for a few weeks, then injuries kept piling up. Lower back pain in early August, missed nearly a month. Right hamstring strain in September, season over. Final line, 50 games, 41.1 innings, 5.23 ERA. Not great, but manageable. Then there was the real problem, the Tanner Scott experience. Tanner Scott didn't just struggle in 2025. He led all of Major League Baseball in blown saves. 10 blown saves. Let that sink in. The Dodgers paid him $18 million per year to close games, and he blew more of them than anyone else in baseball. Let's break down Scott's 2025 season month by month, because the story is even worse than the numbers suggest. March-April, 8 saves in 10 chances. Sounds okay, right? Wrong. These weren't clean saves. These were hold-on-to-your-butt saves. Multiple base runners, high pitch counts, traffic on every outing. The warning signs were already there. May, the collapse begins. 2 saves in 5 chances. 7.59 ERA. Opponents were teeing off on him. June, a brief moment of hope. 8 saves in 8 chances. 1.35 ERA. This was the Tanner Scott the Dodgers thought they were getting. It lasted exactly 1 month. July, back to disaster. 1 save in 3 chances. 8.10 ERA. 3 home runs allowed in just 6.2 innings. August/September, the final stretch was brutal. 4 saves in 7 chances, 7.15 ERA. By this point, Dave Roberts had lost confidence. Scott made just 2 appearances in the final week of the season. But raw numbers don't capture how painful this was to watch. There were specific moments that broke Dodgers fans. September 6, 2025, Baltimore. Yoshinobu Yamamoto was 1 out away from a no-hitter. 8.2 innings, 0 hits, 10 strikeouts, 112 pitches. Then Jackson Holliday homered with 2 outs in the 9th. Dave Roberts pulled Yamamoto. Blake Treinen entered and immediately imploded. Double, hit by pitch, wild pitch, walk, run scores. Tanner Scott came in to get the final out. He failed. 3 pitches later, Emmanuel Rivera hit a walk-off single. Orioles 4, Dodgers 3. One of the most stunning collapses in baseball history. September 9th, 2025, Los Angeles. 2 days later, the Dodgers had another no-hit bid going into the 9th inning. Tyler Glasnow, 7 no-hit innings, 11 strikeouts. Blake Treinen, perfect 8th inning. This time, it was Tanner Scott's turn to protect history. He got 2 outs. Then Ryan Ritter doubled to left field. No-hitter over. The Dodgers won 3-1. But it was another reminder. The bullpen couldn't finish what the starters started. The Dodgers became the first team in MLB history to lose a no-hit bid in the 9th inning twice in a 3-game span. That's not a fun record to hold. And both times, the bullpen was the culprit. Here's the part people gloss over. If the Dodgers don't go all the way in 2025, this bullpen is remembered as the reason. Every debate show would have said, you can't just buy a bullpen. You can't patch chemistry. Stars don't fix everything. The stats were damning. 4.27 ERA, tied for 20th in MLB. 27 blown saves, tied for 7th most. 613 innings pitched, 2nd most in baseball, because starters couldn't go deep early in the season. In September alone, the Dodgers bullpen posted a 5.88 ERA, 4th worst in baseball. With just 2 weeks left in the regular season, they were tied with the Phillies for the worst bullpen in the league. How did they survive? The rotation saved them. From August 1st through the end of the season, Dodgers starters posted 3.12 ERA, first in MLB, 2.93 FIP, first in MLB, 231 innings, top 5 in MLB. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Tyler Glasnow, Blake Snell, Shohei Ohtani, Clayton Kershaw, they went deep into games because they had to. Because handing the ball to the bullpen in the 6th inning was playing Russian roulette. And when October came, the Dodgers didn't even trust their bullpen. They moved Roki Sasaki, their prized rookie starter, to the closer role. Sasaki became the 9th inning guy throughout the playoffs. That's how little confidence they had in their high-priced relievers. Tanner Scott didn't make the postseason roster, out with an abscess procedure. Kirby Yates already shut down with injury. Blake Trinan still pitched, but with a 6.75 ERA in the playoffs. The Dodgers won the World Series in spite of their bullpen, not because of it. The most Dodgers move possible. The Dodgers didn't overthink it. They didn't say, let's hope for internal improvement. They didn't say, regression will fix it. They asked one question, who's the best closer available? And then they got him. Enter Edwin Diaz, December 2025. Edwin Diaz, 3 years, $69 million. The highest average annual value for a reliever in baseball history, $23 million per year. Diaz had just come off a dominant 2025 season with the Mets. 1.63 ERA, 28 saves in 31 chances, 98 strikeouts in 66.1 innings, NL Reliever of the Year. He opted out of the final 2 years and $38 million remaining on his Mets contract to test free agency. And the Dodgers swooped in. Now they have Edwin Diaz, $23 million per year. Tanner Scott, $18 million per year. Blake Trinan, $12 million plus per year. That's over $50 million committed to just 3 relievers. The rationale, Dodgers G. And Brandon Gomes was asked if they needed a closer. His response, I don't think it's a need, but it could be a nice to have. Then they spent $69 million. That's not arrogance. That's organizational confidence. That's the same reason people hate them, and the same reason they keep winning. They don't hope problems fix themselves. They eliminate the problem entirely. A quick reality check on relievers. Here's something fans don't want to admit. Relievers are volatile. 1 year you're elite. The next year you're unwatchable. Then somehow you're elite again. Kirby Yates is the perfect example. 2019, 1.19 ERA, 41 saves, All-Star. 2020 to 2022, injury hell, barely pitched. 2023, 3.28 ERA, solid comeback. 2024, 1.17 ERA, 33 saves, All-Star. 2025, 5.23 ERA, disaster. Tanner Scott could absolutely bounce back. Edwin Diaz could struggle. That's bullpen baseball. Hell, even Diaz himself has a track record of volatility. 2019, 5.59 ERA, his first year with the Mets. Rough. 2022, 50.2% strikeout rate, 3rd highest single-season rate in MLB history. 2023, missed most of season with torn patellar tendon. 2024, 3.52 ERA, lost closer job temporarily. 2025, 1.63 ERA, All-Star, NL Reliever of the Year. So yeah, this could go sideways again. But the Dodgers aren't worried because they've already proven something crucial. They didn't win in 2025 because of their bullpen. They won in spite of it. So yeah, the Dodgers spend money. Yes, they fix problems aggressively. Yes, they just addressed their biggest weakness again. But if you think 2025 was easy, if you think it was automatic, if you think it was scripted, you weren't watching closely. Because that season walked a tightrope. 2 no-hit bids blown in the 9th inning in 3 days. 10 blown saves from their $72 million closer. A bullpen ERA ranked 20th in baseball. 27 blown saves total, 7th most in the league. And they still won the World Series. That's not buying a championship. That's surviving long enough to get to October. Then relying on your starters to carry you the rest of the way, which is exactly what happened. And it's exactly why the rest of baseball is annoyed. Because even when the Dodgers' plan doesn't work, they still find a way to win, which is exactly why FoulBall exists. If you like baseball breakdowns that go deeper than the standings, hit subscribe. That's what we do here. Drop a comment. Was the 2025 Dodgers bullpen the weakest unit you've ever seen on a championship team? Or does it prove that money really does buy championships? This is FoulBall. We'll see you in the next one.